Former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf joins us now with his reaction to this. And, Chad, a recent CBS News poll showed that only 36% of Americans agree with the Biden administration's immigration policies. You'd think the administration would see that number and change course, but it doesn't appear that's happening. Why?
Well, I think that's a great question. And what we've seen for 12 months is a border in crisis and an administration that is not offering any new policies to solve that crisis. Instead, they continue to double down on a failed strategy that is not upholding the rule of law, that is overwhelming the system, which is why you have these flights in the middle of night to all communities across the country. They've broken the system. They've broken the process down on that border. And the result is you're going to have hundreds of thousands of migrants, whether they are children or single adults, in communities and being released in communities across this country because they don't know what to do at the border at this point in time.
Does anyone else besides the White House think that taking these migrants and distributing them throughout the country is a good idea? Because I talked to both Democrats, Republicans, Independents. Nobody that I have spoken to thinks that's a smart idea.
Well, no. And if you listen to the White House or if you listen to the Department of Homeland Security, they will tell you that they have no other choice than to do this. And that's simply not true. There is another way. There is another strategy to secure that border. We did that under the Trump administration. There are policies that you can put in place that deter the illegal apprehensions that Border Patrol is encountering in historic numbers each and every month. So there are other solutions. We left them a playbook when we handed over power in January of 2021. So they do have options, and the option of simply allowing individuals, this catch and release and allowing individuals into communities across this country should not be the first option. And unfortunately, with this administration, that's exactly what they've gone to, and it's what they've been doing for the past 12 months. They've been doing these flights for 12 months, and I'm glad, now that there's some publicity on them.
Yeah, and when Jen Psaki was asked about this, she said that this flight took place in August. The footage that we were just showing is old. Do you think that these flights are still happening? $340 million is a lot of money, and I think that's one of the reasons why the president's poll numbers on this issue is so low.
Well, absolutely, they're happening because you just look at the numbers month after month, and in December, over 170,000 illegal apprehensions, and the vast majority of those folks, again, were being released into the United States. So absolutely, these flights are continuing each and every day. And look, to be clear, during the Trump administration, we also moved migrants around the country, but we did it for a very different reason. We did that to detain them and to deport them, versus what the Biden administration is doing, which is moving them around and releasing them into the United States. So two very different purposes, but absolutely the flights are continuing.
Before we let you go, Joe Biden is going to deploy 3,000 troops to Eastern Europe in a major show of force. Is this the right move, sir?
Well, look, I think at the end of the day, Ukraine is a sovereign nation. They are not part of NATO, so we have to be very careful about, having Putin drag us into this issue. This is an issue for Europe to solve, and we need presidential leadership to push European leaders to solve this issue without the U.S. committing a vast number of troops there. And unfortunately, we don't see that today, and we need to make sure that we keep our eye on the ball.
Understood.
China is the real threat, and not Ukraine at the end of the day.
That's right. Chad